Welcome, everybody, to the Gorilla Top Performance Garage channel. I just felt like doing a video, and I want to touch down on a couple things. Nobody will probably watch this fucking shit, but that's all right. I'll do it anyway. I know that today we're going through, ever since, let me just say, ever since the 90s, like 89 probably, I'd say our automakers have suffered. They themselves haven't. Just all the shit that they put out has suffered. Like, quality of automobiles suffers. Now, GM, along the line somewhere, shut down the Fisher body plant. That, as far as I'm concerned, is one of their biggest fucking mistakes that they could have ever made. And I just don't understand why they did that. I guess to cut cost, so they could sell you vehicles made cheaper and vehicles that are priced higher to make more profit, because that's what Wall Street and OPEC and all these other corporations, humongous corporations, are doing today in the United States. They're giving you shitty quality. They're charging way more for it. And inflation is insane, but it's not inflation to me, it's just gouging. But anyhow, to touch down on this with the cars. These cars that you have today are complete, horrible monstrosities of overloaded technology and shitty design and awful quality. The quality of these newer, brand new, I got a couple newer things out here, and I fucking hate them. I hate these fucking newer cars. I have an '04 Mercury Grand Marquis, and the car is reliable. It is. Has a good engine in it. Has a damn good drivetrain. It's a full frame, separated from the body car. It's not a unibody car. It's a frame car. It's got a full frame under it, just like the old Chevelles and all that other shit. And this car is very reliable, but it's made out of garbage. It's made out of real thin tin, and the bumper covers plastic, like everything else today. Plastic made from petroleum, and when you get hit out on the road, those sons of bitches splinter and shit flies everywhere. Now, like these Crown Vics and these Mercuries, you can actually crash them and drive away with them, because they're like the old cars, kind of. They get a real strong header panel up front. That's why people were using these things for derby cars, because they're really strong in the front, and the front end will take a lot of heavy punishment before they actually, go through the radiator. So, but anyhow, to get back to the car designs, my son has a 2010 Mercury Mulan he bought off my sister, which, I was all against that. And the car runs well. It runs very good. I had to do a pile of work to this car to get it to pass inspection. And it is very, very cheap, very junky. It is just, it's insane how much Ford put out to produce these cars like this. Made them out of the cheap ass fucking materials. They did make some money, or they did pay a lot to have some of the technology put in these things. It's 2010. They was getting into the monitor type speedometer things. This is one of those premieres, and it's, you know, really, I don't know how to say it, shitty, I guess you could say, shitty. And, you know, the body styles are just, they're just ugly. They look like they didn't even try, you know. And another thing is with the fucking headlights. I'll show you here. I had to fix his one headlight wiring harness over on the driver's side. I just could not get the damn thing to work. I would get it to work for a little bit. He'd hit a couple bumps on that side with it, and it would go out. The light would go out. And it's like, you can't just have one headlight at night. You got to have two. Have both working. So I pulled it out this morning, cut the wires to it, to the connector. I extended the wires. I spliced in other wire because the wires were too short. Hell, you no sooner stretched that wires up over to connect your damn headlight bulb, and you were out of wire, and it wouldn't stay connected. Plus, I'll show you here. I have it here someplace. I have to go find it. Now it goes to show you what this is, what it was doing. Okay. Here's your plug in there. All right. It melted because it kept coming undone. Get that to focus. There you go. It kept coming undone. And as you can see, it melted. Here's the bulb that was in there. It melted it too because it wasn't making the connection. That's the thing with electrical stuff. When you have a loose connection, this is where fires begin. Like the AC/DC song, loose wires start fires. So, and you'll notice on this plug. Now, I could plug it in, it would work still. Now look at this here. Now look at that plug. That's a Ford plug. Look how that son of a bitch does not make the connection. You can push that with everything you got. Now that will not connect. That is why, because this clip, you can just jerk it right back out of there, no problem. That clip, the groove is not far enough cut ahead in that clip to catch that piece of the light where it connects. And I just put new lights and bulbs and everything in the Daytona because they were all getting yellow from the sun. Because, you know, for some reason we all have to succumb to petroleum-made shitty plastic headlights that are on cars today. And that's fucking garbage. Instead of the old round fucking glass headlights that we used to have on cars, which they broke, they burn out. You went and bought another one. But they never turned fucking yellow. Because they couldn't, because they were glass. And they were nice thick glass. They were high quality glass. And you could put bulbs inside of them like this. All they had to do was just figure out a different way or a different material to make these fucking lights out of. But they don't want to do that because then this ain't the 1950s. They made things back the 50s through the 80s to last you. They didn't make stuff to... They're not making stuff today. Well, I should say they didn't make things back then to wear out fast and you to go buy them. Because when you buy a new car and you live in the salt belt like I do, you tend to run your car in the wintertime and your car rots up because of the salt. They used to put calcium on the road around here back in the 70s. That's why a lot of them late 70s cars around here are all gone. Because they just turn to fucking dust from that calcium. That calcium is about the worst thing you could put on the road. It's the reason they do it is because it reacts with water. It will react with water and ice, and it will get hot. And it will stay that way for a long time. That's why a lot of people, you see a lot of these farmers getting calcium pumped into their wheels on their tractors for weight, but eventually it eats through those damn tractor rims and they get holes in them and they blow tires out and shit. But it's really heavy. It's a heavy liquid, and it, if I was a farmer, I'd just put wheel weights on my fucking tractor and say the hell with it. Fuck the liquid filled bullshit. But people used to do that with their lawn tractors too. They used to get them pumped full of calcium, so they could give that extra weight. When they're rolling their yards and they're in the summertime or spring or whatever. But it's shit like that wire connection. It's shit like that that's very awful quality. And they made the ultimate sacrifice of quality for quantity and lots of money. So that's what they do. And back in the day, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they made when they made their pickups, they didn't make them luxurious models because they weren't built for luxury. They were built for you to do your fucking job with. They were sold mainly to contractors and, farmers and shit like that. And today they're sold to people that like their unnecessary technologies, like a heated and cooled seat. I could see if you had something wrong with you and needed a heated seat, that would be fine. But heated and cooled cup holders, heated and cooled steering wheel. Come on, people. Come on. Your nuts, your fucking balls drop off. The fuck's wrong with you people? And then this technology. There's so many different computers. Back when they started putting computers in cars, they put one in there. One controlled everything. Now they have several. There are several, and there's a master computer in there where they all kind of got a report to. They all kind of, hey, we're reporting to you. There's some fucked up shit going up in the engine bay going on. And then they're mating aluminum with metal. Like your bolts are aluminum. And your shit down there you're bolting into is fucking steel. And then they wonder why it breaks. They wonder why you can't get the fucking bolts out of it. That's a plan to fleece the money out of your pocket and take it and leave you with jack shit. Leave you with nothing. And the trouble is, our politicians have let this happen. They've let this get to the point of, they want to sacrifice quality and you saving money to benefit these corporations, because these corporations have lobbyists that run to DC and they give our politicians all this money. Hey, buddy, we have some real shitty fucking cars coming across the assembly line. We need you guys to tell them how good they are. We'll just keep this shitty, Plus, we'll sell a bunch of jobs to China so they can make all the electronics for it. There's your number one problem right there. All your electronics are made in China. I mean, back in the 80s, shit, all the electronic stuff we had, not all of it, but like Sony and them was Japan, which, the Japanese, they build shit with quality like we do, or like we did, because we don't build nothing here anymore. We don't build shit here. I doubt they don't even want us to raise beef here. They want to import meat. So, it's crazy shit. But to show you the difference, I love doing this. People get pisses some people off. Now, to show you the difference in quality of automobiles, I'll show you here. Get my phone up off here. Okay. Now, we're going to use my Chevelle as an example. Okay. Just look at the design. Look at the body lines. They have bulging body lines. Look at that. Look at that bumper. How the bumper's sculpted in. Steel, chrome-plated bumper, sculpted in with the body. how the body curves in, go straight back up to the middle. You got this nice big back window, nice sturdy double panel roof. And I don't like big wheels. Everybody, it's just not my thing. I like 15-inch wheels. I can't help it. And now you have your steel door handle. And look, kids, here's a lock. You put a key in there, put your key out of the ignition in there, and you twist it, and it locks the door. Yeah. I'll show you how to lock these doors from the 70s. You push your lock down, push your button in. There you go. That's a safety measure right there. Now see, if you open your door, put your lock down and you shut it, the lock pops up. That is, hey, maybe I left my keys in the switch. Safety. Now listen to the doors. Listen. Listen to that. That is quality. That is, listen to that shit. You're not going to get that out of a new car. Look at that shit. It just gives me a hard on to hear it. Of course, these are aftermarket fenders. They're not the greatest quality, but still they're stamped from the same steel stamps that they had back in the day. I left the original Malibu hood on it because I'm not paying $900 for a fucking hood with a hump in it. Piss on that. I'm not into that. So you got nice big fat steel hood. And another thing they quit doing on new cars, this is why you get fucking drenched when you put the window down in your car while you're driving down the road and it's raining. Because they did away with this. This right here is gold on these cars, man. A rain gutter. That's what they call a drip edge. Now that shit right there. Fucking drip edge. That's quality. Plus it's covered with stainless steel. Stainless steel trim. There's just little clips hold that in there. You know, big old piece of stainless down here. Your wipers hide under the hood lines. You don't see them. And I'm tripping over the jack. Another thing. This is how you knew it was good. This is how you knew you were getting something good. Right here. A GM stamped that in all their cars. They didn't stamp them in these trucks. There ain't jack shit in here telling you Fisher did anything with these. And I really couldn't tell you if they did or not. I don't know. I would assume so. But all these trucks like this, they were dipped. They were chemical dipped in like an oxide primer. The whole bodies, all of them were dipped. All of them. They come out. These double wall panel doors. Now that's quality right there. Even though I got a hole back. But anyway, that's just showing this is an original fender here. Plus you got there they have the double panel roof up here. And looky there's a drip edge or a drip edge on that bitch. Runs clear down. Now, let's go out and check out these newer cars. Now this is a 10. This is a 10 model. Okay. Plastic bumper covers, ridiculous sized wheels, shitty plastic door handles. See that shit? shitty plastic mirrors. Now, this thing doesn't have a lot of unnecessary technology, but some of it is unnecessary. The thing I like about it is the LED taillights that it has. They're nice, big, and bright, and it's got a little backup camera back here. It's dirty most of the time. It pops into your rearview mirror whenever you're backing up. And this bullshit I don't get here. Are you too lazy to take your lid off? Really? And Ford puts a little thing on your fucking door there. See? That is the sound of cheapness. That is the sound of cheap. All your interior is plastic. They did do a good job with the seats. I will give them that these days. And your wipers, you can see them. They're right there with a bunch of ugly ass plastic at the bottom. And no drip edge. That little gutter right there doesn't take no rain away. That's what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't do it. You can still drive down the road, it just rushes over this and right in the fucking window. Drips down there. Then when you stop at a red light, it's all running down on your leg in there. And nothing is really sculpted as far as body lines go. Damn flies. Nothing's really sculpted on the car. It's just, it looks like everything else that's on the road. Just like that blue bastard right there. All fucking plastic shit. They're all, they all look, alike. It's like the front end of this car here. Look how it's all sculpted together. And it's made with fucking steel. The grill is plastic. They did make them out of plastic, but look at that. And them old ass headlights. That's old Seal Beam T3 that GM put in there. Now this one burned out eons ago. Either that or it had a loose connection or it got broke. But those lights all still work. They're original. Those lights, they're 52 years old. And they still work. That's what I'm talking about, quality. You sacrifice quality and, over profit. And then they wonder why places go out of business. So here, I got big wheel well moldings. I got a rocker panel cover. It's stainless. It's down over there. Chrome mirrors. Got bugs splattered on them. My interior's vinyl, and that's mainly what you had back in the day. I don't think there was too much leather interior back then. I'm not real versed on that. I couldn't tell you. But, this is what you got for, the base Malibu was like $2,800 back then. So you're talking, another custom thing. There's these marker light covers. Look at that shit. That is fucking awesome. But I'm telling you, these people back in the day, they knew what they were doing. They had designs that were in the books that people had designed years and years earlier before these cars were put in production back in the day. And they went through that stuff and, picked out, well, this is going to be the design for this year, and this will be the design for this year. And they knew that. And they tweaked them a little bit because they were like, mock-up drawings. They shaped these cars. They made them out of clay first. Guys went around, made them out of clay. And artists sculpt these bodies. And then that's when they used computers back in the late 60s, early 70s, to scan these bodies and send them to a company to make the steel stamper for their machines to stamp out these body panels. And then a car is born. So they don't do that now. They slop a bunch of shit together, throw it in a fucking wind tunnel. Oh, it's aerodynamic. Here we go. And then everybody's shit looks like everybody else's shit today. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if you disagree, that's fine. But that's my opinion on all of it. My opinion is there's something better right here. And out there is just awful. I'm not saying this to knock on my son or anything, or belittle him for buying a car like that, because there's not a lot of shit available today. There's just not a lot of stuff around. People have bought up these old cars. They bought them up. They're, and that's like, oh, they're put in barns and stuff. People, when people had trouble with their cars back then, they couldn't fix them. And they thought it'd be cheaper just to buy another one. They did. And they hung on to stuff. Like my grandparents, they had every goddamn thing they ever bought shoved in a building up there. They never got rid of anything. A lot of that stuff could have been fixed and used again, and they just didn't know. A lot of them just didn't, couldn't. They didn't have the time to fuck with it, or they just said, fuck it. We'll push it in here. We'll go get another one, and we'll use it. And that's a lot of where this throwaway thing started. Because look at the production of cars today versus back in the day. These cars, they're mass produced by machines and computers and robots, and you have robotic arms that paint them. You have robotic arms that weld the fucking body panels on them. The only thing that people touch is the interiors on them, and they plug the engines in. They're put down. They're already on a fucking piece of unibody coming out, and they just throw the wiring harness and computers in them and just plug them in, slap the interiors in, and there you go. These cars here, they were put together by human hands. They were welded by people. They had great big spot welders that hung off the ceiling, and they would just stick them against the lips of the panels and weld them together. Just all day long. There's one guy that just welded like driver's side panels on another guy, passenger side panels. And that's how it worked. That's how it was. Today, you barely have any human interaction other than sitting behind a fucking keyboard. And that's scary to me, anyway. And now, of course, they're making these electric cars and all this bullshit. And cars are not our pollution problem. Our pollution problem is the Chinese with their coal-fired power plants that have no carbon collection devices. That's your problem, because all the power plants are coal-fired in the United States, and I know this for a fact because my brother-in-law works at one in our area. They collect every little bit of carbon that comes out of that pipe. They actually have to run water in there. When that thing's dissipating that heat, they actually have to run water in there on all that stuff to make a vapor come out of the fucking stacks so they know everything's working. That's how clean those things are. If it wouldn't be for them dripping that shit on those, you wouldn't see anything coming out of them pipes. You would think, oh, well, they must be offline. But they're not. And I mean, that's how it is. Or, that's EPA standard. And now everybody's like pretending the EPA doesn't exist for some reason. The EPA standard on power plants was put in place, back when George W. Bush was fucking president. They're saying how, you don't care about nothing. Sure, he had us invade a country for no fucking reason. And tried to trick us into thinking that they were the ones that hit the World Trade Center, and it wasn't. It was Saudi Arabia. Of course, we didn't fuck with them because, they produce lots of oil. We need all that oil. Why would we fuck with them? Saudi prince had fucking journalists killed and ground up into fucking dog food. Did we do anything about it? Fuck no. We didn't do shit about it because nobody gave a fuck. But anyhow, I'm getting off subject now. But I'm telling you, electric cars are a bad, bad idea. It's funny because on the news, they were sitting there saying, now these electric car folks, they say that our grid is more than good enough to support everyone plugging in at night with an electric car. All right. Okay. Fine. All right then. Then I hear on the fucking news just the other day, because all the heat we had this week, it was really, really hot from like the west clear over, to the east coast. It was like record high temperatures for, the month of June. It'd been the hottest in, years. Of course, in the 90s, it was always hot and humid every summer like that. And I remember it because a lot of them say, it's never been this hot. It has. It's been hotter. It has in the past. This bullshit of them, they need to look back on their weather history before they run their mouths about, it's never been this hot or it's never been this cold. Yes, it has. And even like back in 18 whatever, it's been extremely fucking hot. And there wasn't even any power plants or cars running around then. So explain that one to me. They're environmentalists, scientists. Explain it. Tell me why. It wasn't because a new volcano erupted, I can tell you that. But anyhow, then they were saying what a drag that heat was on the nation's power grid. They were saying that this power grid is going to fail. It's so close to failing because everybody's so hot. And everybody's, they're just, record heat. People were getting heat stroke, passing out, dehydrated because they're stupid. And because they're not hydrating themselves. They're out there working in the fucking dog day heat and I wonder why they're passing out. And then it's like, it's such a strain on the grid. Well, motherfucker, if that heat is such a strain on the grid, then what do you think's going to happen when everybody in this fucking nation plugs in an electric car at night? I know the West Coast 3 hours ahead or behind us, but it doesn't matter. There's going to be a time where we all sleep and we all have to plug in at the same fucking time. And when they plug theirs in, shit's going to go down. I'm telling you, this is a mistake. Electric cars are a fucking mistake. They pollute way worse than a gasoline car or a diesel pickup or a diesel car. They do. It's a fact. Look it up. There's videos all over YouTube that talk about it. There's guys that are renowned around the world for knowing their shit about the environment. And they're going to tell you these electric cars are not the answer to anything. It is just a way for an Elon Musk and all the GM, Ford, Dodge, whoever owns Chrysler now. They are out there fleecing you. They're out there taking your money because they want to pull the wool over your eyes and lie to you and tell you that you're doing good by getting an electric vehicle. And the government wants to give you all kinds of kickbacks and tax breaks and rebates and bullshit just to get you do that, because that's part of Joe Biden's climate agenda. We joined back in the Paris Climate Accord, which is fine. That's fine. I'm all for clean air. But the thing is, it's not fucking dirty. Why try to clean something up that's not dirty? Why fix something that isn't broke? Oh my God, we have 10 years of life left on the planet. No, we don't. You don't know how long we got. There's nothing going on that would give us signs that the planet's dying. It's not dying. That is called clever marketing, is what that's called. It's called, we're going to fleece your ass. So, just prepare. Everybody needs to put their wallet away. I mean, I know you got people out there that just can't do a lot of things for themselves, and that's growing. A lot of people just don't know how to do things. I mean, I'm not saying I can do everything, but if you show me how to do something, I watch you do it, I can do it again. So, all of you need to watch your ass on this clever marketing scams that they're coming out with here to try and get you to buy electric shit. And it's like gas stations. They are all behind this horse shit as well, with the gas being high. Like your small mom and pop stores, they're not, because they don't make a lot off the gas. The gas is what brings you to their store. And then while you're there, oh, hey, I'll go in and get some snacks. I'll go in and take a piss. I'll do this, I'll do that. I'll get some cigarettes, I'll get some booze. That's why those stores have gas pumps. They only make about, I think, like 25% or 30% of whatever those pumps draw in. But those pumps are owned by that fuel company. Now, there's a place up here at Hilltop. I'm going to badmouth them because they pissed me off yesterday. There's a place called Brewston Farm Service. It's BFS for short. They are based in Brewston, West Virginia, over here in Preston County, West Virginia, which is right next to Garrett County, Maryland. I used to pass them every day going to work. Now, they are a place, they specialize in heating fuels, diesel fuel, and gasoline. That's what they sell. That's their business. That's what they do, which that's fine. But they will screw you in a fucking second. I used to have a gas stove. They used to bring me cylinders of gas that weren't even full, and they would charge me for a full one. I knew this because I knew how much a full cylinder would last me. Cooking every night with gas, it would last me a month. Now, because I worked through the day, you didn't cook on it all day long. You only cooked on it once a day. And then I would use it when the power go out to keep warm. Because, power goes out. I have electric heat, so, then you're kind of fucked. But I eventually got an electric stove, and I got rid of the gas because I got tired of getting screwed over. Now, yesterday I noticed they had a power outage Friday night. A tree fell in a line. Half that strip with those 3 gas stations was out. There's a Pilot Travel Center up there. Their systems were down. They couldn't sell gas. They had no power. They had a generator running a couple things. So nobody really stopped in and did anything there. Going down the road, about, an 1/8 mile, you got a Brewston Farm Service gas station. It used to be called Fuel City years ago, but it got bought out by Brewston Farm Service. They have a convenience store. They have a Little Caesars inside. They have an IHOP. They sell shit. They sell a bunch of trash in there, just like a convenience store would. Cigarettes, snacks. They don't have beer, but they sell drinks. So, I noticed yesterday when I pulled in there, because I had my Crown Vic, and I needed a little bit of gas. Because the Pilot was still down yesterday. Their power was back, but their pumps were offline because it's all computer-operated shit. And their system wasn't rebooting for some reason. They couldn't sell no gas. So they had their pumps wrapped with yellow tape to say, there's no gas here, it's not working. Now, Brewston Farm Service, I went down there. There was a lady taping paper with a note on it over 87 and 89 grades of fuel that you could buy, which are the cheaper two grades that you can buy. And they were leaving the 92 octane open and saying that you can only purchase the 92 octane because the other two we're out of. We're not selling the other two because we're out of them. All right. Okay, that's fine. Now, every time I swipe my card into that, and I was thinking, well, this car works better because it's older. It's a 1983. It'll work on that 92 just fine. Wouldn't even take my card because they weren't done changing the bullshit over yet. And when I'm in a hurry and I need to get somewhere and I need to pump some gas quickly and I don't want to run into the store, which they do this shit to you to get you in that fucking store to buy shit. Because if they make it so your card won't work so you can pay at the pump, they'll do that to get you in the store. That's a little trick that they play. But anyhow, this lady was taping this shit over the buttons so you couldn't use it. And they were in the process of making it so that you couldn't turn it on. You could only turn on the 92 octane. I give that woman some shit. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, we're out of gas. I said, no, you're not. So you're not out of gas. Because I can guarantee you, they've tried this shit before. Because I caught them doing it. Because I asked the guy, last time they did this, I asked the guy inside, I said, what's wrong out here? Why are you covering up the other two grades? Oh, we're out of fuel, buddy. We can only sell the 92 because nobody buys it because it's higher priced than the 87 and 89. It's significantly higher because of the octane difference. So we're only selling that. Instead of dragging the price down to help everybody, they kept it up. It was, well, back then it wasn't that much. But like yesterday, I noticed it was like $5.09 or 10 cents a gallon. It's like, fuck. I thought, I'm not paying that. When regular was $4.89. I was thinking, why don't drag it down to $4.89 so people will come in, and that's the honest way to do that. But they wouldn't do that. They kept the price up. And I asked the guy the last time this happened, I went inside and I asked the guy, I said, and he said he was waiting on the fuel truck to come. When our tanker comes, then we'll open that back up. And he fills the tanks up. I was like, okay. All right. So back then I bought the 92 and went home. Now, today or yesterday, I didn't bother. I was so fucking mad about it because I knew what was going on. But anyhow, back then when I bought it, they did this the last time. I came up that evening again. And there was a different person working in there, working register, because that other guy's shift was over. And I asked him, I said, did your fuel truck come today? Huh? What are you talking about? We didn't have a fuel truck come in here today. I said, oh, okay. I thought so. I said, see you later. And I left, because I hadn't been in the area. I just wanted to ask him if it showed up. And it didn't. It didn't show up. So here's my dad coming. Oh, we just missed him. Anyhow, that is how they screw you over. There's so many people traveling through because they're next to the interstate. And people come in there because they need gas, they need to piss, they need to eat. And it's there, it's available. There's 3 gas stations there on that strip of road. Now the other one on the other side, it's a Valero with a liquor store in it. And the guy sells ammo, and he's a big-time diehard Republican guy. I'm friends with him. Because he's a local guy. He's a local guy. I mean, I buy stuff off of him when I feel like going down there. If I need 22 shells, I'll go get some off of him because he's the only one seems like he has any. Because, God forbid you get 22 shells. Oh, because you're going to go murder a bunch of people. So anyhow, that just goes to show you that the gas stations, these bigger ones, they're in on this shit. They're in on this bullshit. Because believe me, the Pilot Travel Center would be doing the same goddamn thing if their stuff was up for it to work. They would see what's going on over there. They would hear people coming in bitching about BFS across the road. Oh, they won't sell no fucking mid-grade or regular. They're only selling premium. Then they'll be like, oh my, that's a hell of an idea, everybody. Let's do the same thing. So that's what they do. That's what they do. So I really don't know what to say, but it ain't getting no better, folks. Go out there in November and vote. Get these assholes out of there. Get these congressmen and these fucking senators and awful governors. Get them the fuck out of there. They have overstayed their welcome. The trouble is they're all career politicians, and you can't make them go away completely because there's not really anybody there. They're all so filthy rich because they've been getting handouts from other companies and corporations and, special interests. And you just can't trust these people. When they run around here and say, well, I'm going to make Joe Biden do this and do that. You can't. If you don't have the votes in there, dickhead, you ain't going to make shit happen. You're just going to sit in there and collect your fucking paycheck. $140,000 a year is what them fuckers make. And then, they're limoed to work. They all ride limos. They're all trucked to work. They don't have to pay for fuel. We pay for that. We pay for their health care. Us taxpayers, the working stiffs, we pay for their shit. And the only time they give a fuck about us is whenever we have to go in and vote. That's the only time. And that's why majority of them don't want minorities voting, because a certain party, once in there, they're against certain races because they know how those races vote. And fuck, there's a bunch of African Americans coming here to vote. They're not going to vote for me. Fuck. They're all mad because, these people know what the fuck's going on. They know what's up. And a lot of them are tired of the bullshit. So we're all tired of the horse shit going on. And I have a feeling that the Democrats are going to get broke up here in this midterm. They will. They'll lose their seats, a whole bunch of them. And what it'll do is it'll make it difficult for Joe Biden to do shit. It will make it difficult for him to do things. But they're not going to force him into refunding the Keystone Pipeline, even though we need it. We really fucking need it. See, he's got a deal to run this oil from Canada down to us with trains. Because his old buddy, I don't know which one of them guys it is, but whoever is the big CEO of all the train corporations, he's the one in Joe Biden's pockets. That's why they shut down this Keystone XL project, is because they want to truck this oil down by train and then put it on trucks and truck it all over the place. Or, the plan is to run this pipeline down to the Gulf, refine it, move some of it overseas, truck some of it to our refineries and our gas stations and stuff like that. And then whenever you shut a major project down like that, there's a shitload of oil pipelines in the United States are still running. But a lot of the production was cut off in order to give them an excuse to jerk the price up. That's why this is happening. And now, because of fears of a recession coming, these assholes in the stock market, they're backing the fuck up now. And the price is going to start dropping. It won't drop real fast like it went up, but it's going to start dropping. It'll be under $5 a gallon. And by the time the summer's over, it'll probably be back to 3 something, which still sucks, but it's better than 5. I would say it'll drop. And then it might go up a little bit when they do this wintertime blend bullshit. That's horse shit. The only wintertime blend is diesel fuel. They just mix kerosene with it and hope it doesn't gel up, and it still gels up. I mean, why even fucking bother? It's stupid. But anyway, everybody, It's Sunday. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. My kids are still asleep. And that's what time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock. So, all right, everybody. Have a good Father's Day. Everybody be careful. Be safe. Hopefully things get better. My crow's feet will get better. I doubt it. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you even watch this fucking video, I notice I haven't had a lot of watchers lately. So I've been doing a lot of bitching and not a lot of cold starts. Not a lot of burnouts because it's too expensive now. So, all right, everybody. Have a good one. Later.